Hello and welcome to Cocktails with a Twist of History, your digital destination for all things cocktails. Ernest Hemingway was a novelist, a journalist, a sportsman, and a man who created his own daiquiri. Not surprising when you hear about his life. Ernest Hemingway was born in 1899 and lived to 1961. He wrote most of his works between the mid-1920s and the mid-1950s. He received the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1954. Some of his books included The Sun Also Rises, The Old Man and the Sea, A Farewell to Arms, and the one that really got me started on him was For Whom the Bell Tolls. That was when I was in 9th grade. I learned about him before, but I really didn't appreciate him until then. He participated in 3 wars. He had strong opinions on everything, from guns to fine art to boxing. And said he was always up at dawn, claiming to never have missed a sunrise since he's been born. He said he was never happier except for when he was hunting or fishing. Hemingway was also a famous drinker. He would order a cocktail at every airport that he arrived at. He drank champagne with breakfast and went on epic several-day benders. There's a story about Hemingway when he was in Montana. He lived with a bear and got drunk with him, slept side by side, and they became close friends. And you suspected he was probably telling the truth. Okay, I have been talking way too long without a drink in my hand. Let's make a Hemingway Daiquiri. Hemingway was also a diabetic, so he needed a cocktail with less sugar. He was in Cuba, and he created the Hemingway Daiquiri. What's interesting is that nobody really likes the original way it was made. The balance was off. So if you ordered it today, you would get one with sugar in it, which kind of defeats the purpose. The original one was made with rum, lime juice, grapefruit juice, which is one of his inventions, and Luxardo Maraschino liqueur, which is a cherry liqueur, but a very subtle cherry liqueur. And this is shaken with ice and served up in a stemmed glass. I want to create one that's a little bit different. I am going to put 2 full ounces of rum inside here. This is a shaken, so we are going to put the 2 ounces of rum in here. There we go. 2 ounces of rum. We need our lime juice. I'm going to use only a ½ ounce of lime juice. Some people use a little more. And I'm going to use a full ounce of grapefruit juice. Some say it's better to use the fresh grape juice, which it is, but I'm going to use not from concentrate. And we're going to use 3/4 of an ounce of Luxardo liqueur, which is slightly more than some people use, but I happen to like it. I think it needs that sweetness that it does provide. Now, hold on, that didn't fit right. Okay. We are going to put a lot of ice into our shaker. As I always say, you need a lot of ice for this. Here we go. Ice, ice, and ice. Yep. The drink is not served with ice, so that's why you need a lot of ice in your shaker. And you're going to need to shake it up a lot because it does have that grapefruit juice in it. Here we go. We're going to shake this, and we are going to serve it in a, well, it's not really a coupe glass, it's kind of a large coupe glass. Here we go. And we're going to pour. Now, I will tell you that Hemingway was not one for a lot of garnish. Too rough, tough for that. So I'm going to leave my garnish out. And here we go. Let's try. Oh, a fascinating cocktail. Very different. It's different than your typical one. Just very good. Very different than the original daiquiri, which is also interesting. Ernest Hemingway was often seen with a drink in his hand. He was seen in Venice, Paris, Key West, and in the case of the Hemingway Daiquiri, Havana, which would have been created in about 1939. Hemingway survived 2 plane crashes on two consecutive days, and after the second one he was believed to be dead, until he emerged from the jungle holding a bunch of bananas and a bottle of gin. The report in Time magazine published after he was found safe highlighted his seemingly unshaken, even humorous response to the near-fatal accident. Time magazine would report that he was battered but unbowed. That was a quote. He was in his mid-50s with his 4th wife, Mary Welsh, and he was on a sightseeing tour, and he took a small Cessna in Africa. During the flight, the plane clipped a telegraph wire and plunged into the crocodile-infested Nile. This is according to PBS. He and his wife and the pilot camped out overnight, rationing their beer and whiskey. In the morning, a tourist boat spotted the 3 survivors and brought them to a nearby town. They boarded a second plane, which was to transport them safely out of Uganda. Just after takeoff, that plane crashed and caught fire. People thought that they were dead after the second plane crash, but he walked out of the jungle in high spirits, carrying a bunch of bananas and a bottle of gin. In 1954, Time magazine reported that Ernest Hemingway, quote, was saying, "My luck, she is running very good." As usual, if you know more pieces of the story, we want to know it. Please send it to us. You can put it in the comments. You can you can email it to us, or you can tell it to the bottle. We want to know. Also, please remember to subscribe, to follow, to like, and to send a copy of this, a link of this, to anybody you know so that they can enjoy cocktails with a twist of history.